Well, hello, and welcome to today's podcast. So, today we're going to be talking about something pretty interesting, if I don't say myself. So, I'm pretty sure that everybody on the internet and everybody around has probably heard of Luigi Mangione. I probably butchered his last name, and I really don't mean to. However, I find this situation pretty interesting. And from what I can see online, ranging from TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, you name it, if there's a social media, somebody somewhere is talking about it, ranging from hundreds, if not thousands of memes, people voicing their opinions, people cropping him into photos of other places, trying to pretty much, from my understanding and my perspective, making it sound like he was somewhere else at the time of the incident. So we already know that there was a CEO for UnitedHealthcare that was basically assassinated on the streets of New York City. Well, here's the thing. So there's a whole lot to this situation, and I'm pretty sure that you all have your opinions and stuff, and I will, vocalize my opinions as well, which is, murder is never the answer. But there is so many sides to this that it is beyond ridiculous. And I can honestly sit here and say that I've heard quite a bit about the situation. And I mean, how can you not hear about it when it's constantly all over the internet? It's on the internet, it's on your For You page, it's literally everywhere. And it's like, how can you possibly get away from it? I think that the situation is precarious. I also think, too, that at the same time, this is kind of like, what is it? Vigilante behavior. I think, and now we're going to kind of deep dive a little bit into this situation. And I know that everybody has mixed emotions about this. And my thought about it is like, there's two perspectives. And if you think about this from kind of like this standpoint, no matter on what part of the ball field that you stand on, is that if you separate two different images of a person basically poo-pooing another person, that's murder. But then if you have another person that is literally making millions of dollars off of denying people with cancer, critical illness, their health care, that's also still murder. The only difference is you're doing it in a manner that makes it legal because you're denying them. And, there's so much stuff to Luigi, right? Is like there's a certain aspect of the community, our society that is just basically drooling over him for literally whatever reason, and then making a big old giant, joke out of it or whatever. And then there's the other side of it that's just all like, set him free, da 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 da. And then there's also the other part of it, which is, murder is wrong. But you know what? Like his mom was dying. He probably wasn't in the right state of mind. So basically they're justifying his behavior. They're justifying what he did. Even knowing that what he did was completely wrong. Like, let's kind of, understand that. Like, I mean, it's still murder, right? However, the thing that I find the most incredibly interesting about the situation is that, Luigi, having gone to college, he's an engineer, okay? He is very well educated. I mean, a very, very, very well educated man. And my thought is after he was picked up, I thought to myself, you know what? I think this was intentional. I think he intentionally got himself picked up because he had a video. He straight up had a video on YouTube that was getting ready to premiere. And believe me, coming from a background, obviously, from YouTube and stuff like that, I know how to premiere videos. And personally, that's my favorite way of launching a video is to premiere it because you get the chat on there where everybody gets to talk. And everybody's on there watching it at the same time. And that's also provided that you either get the notification or not, because we all know that YouTube is very infinite for not notifying your subscribers, which, by the way, not to kind of put this in, but if you would like to subscribe or comment here on YouTube, or if you would like to follow me on Apple Podcast, this is also available on there as well. And it is 100% free. So come on over, hang out, chit chat on YouTube in the comments section. Anything that we talk about, if you would like a response in any of the podcasts, I'm also able to do that as well. So now back to our topic. I personally think that this is going to be a wild court case. I'm going to be watching this because I'm quite interested in it. I'm interested in how the legal system is going to handle this situation. I also think, too, that this case is going to bring a lot of attention to the medical industry. It's going to bring a lot of attention on how a family member either passing from cancer or having complications from a surgery or something, etc., and being denied by insurance, how it not only directly affects the patient, but it also directly affects the patient's family, friends, and etc. And I think that it's going to be interesting because this case is going to be publicized because everybody's interested in it. The media is interested in it. And the fact that he planned this so well down to writing 3 words on 3 separate bullets, and then not just that, but then also putting videos online to premiere them and basically putting out a coded message, which other engineers have already they've already decoded it. And it literally says, "The truth will set me free." And I'm literally just like, this guy, he clearly has planned this out. He has clearly thought this out. And it's going to be interesting. It really is. I seriously think that it's going to be interesting. I cannot possibly think of anything else that I could possibly find interesting right now other than that. I mean, I won't even get into the topic of election day or anything to do with that. My spouse, Daniel, being a trans male and me being a trans non-conforming person. The way that I look at it is I know who I am on the inside despite of how I look on the outside. I have chosen that this is what's best for me. And that is a whole nother topic. And I'm pretty sure that we will talk about that in another video because that's probably something that you guys are probably going to be interested about. Because you guys probably still have questions like, hey, what pronouns do we use? How do we, refer to you? Do I still call you Heavenly? Which, yes, you still call me Heavenly because that is a name that I've chosen. That's a name that my mom would have chose for me if I was born a cisgendered female. So other than that, I mean, it's just heavenly. But anyways, so I hope that you all are just as interested in the whole situation with Luigi. However, my opinion, me and Daniel, we've had this conversation. And this is something, I wanted to have a conversation about this with Mandy. But at the same time, I have an idea of what Mandy's already going to say. I mean, she's an attorney. She already knows, murder is clearly not the answer. It's just not. It's just not the answer. I do, my thoughts do go out to the children that he's left behind, his wife, etc. But I also feel for Luigi because I'm pretty sure that his mental health is all over the place. I'm pretty sure that in some way, shape, or form, he felt like what he was doing was right. And I think that during this court case, we're going to find out a lot more answers than what the media or social media is saying. From everything I've seen online, they talk about anything from his mom to, his own personal injuries. Because I've seen the x-rays that seem to be popping up all over social media. I can't really get away from it because I have so many people online. And so everybody's kind of chit-chatting about it. But on the other hand, I'm looking forward to the court case. As this continues, I'm going to follow up with it. I'm going to keep up with it and stuff like that. And I'm going to give you my guys' honest thoughts and opinions. And we can kind of sit and talk about it. I look forward to seeing your guys' comments, and we can kind of just go from there. But other than that, I know that this right here was probably like a little bit of a short podcast, but I really just kind of wanted to reach out and kind of say something about this, kind of talk about it for a minute, mainly because it's something that is very interesting. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like V for Vendetta. If you've never seen V for Vendetta, it's a really good movie. It's about a vigilante that obviously he went through some stuff. If you haven't seen the movie, which I strongly suggest that you do, and I'm not gonna, spoil it or anything, but it's a good movie. You should definitely give it a watch. Other than that, if you notice that there is now music and stuff on this, I'm going to be in the future editing my podcast with GarageBand, as well as now I have a podcast microphone. So hopefully things sound better for your ears. That is my hope. Other than that, I hope that you guys enjoyed this podcast. If you have any questions, concerns, or anything that you would like to talk about, please make sure to message me over at heavenlyleanne.com or in the comment section on YouTube. When it comes to true crime, family law, or anything else, if there is something that you would like to talk about or you'd like to tell me your story, please reach out to me and I will communicate with you appropriately. If you would like your story not told in a podcast, that is perfectly fine too. Other than that, I love you all, and I hope that you guys have a very heavenly day. Ta-ta!